In this video, we're talking all about arm pump, and I know that you know how it feels. You just finished that super long, chunky downhill. Now your hands and your forearms just feel weak and tight and like they're on fire. Arm pump can really be the bane of a mountain biker's existence. So in today's video, we're going to talk about ways through physical exercise that you can stop arm pump dead in its tracks. It's single tracks. Holy shit, that was cringy. So first of all, what is arm pump and why does it happen? In the most basic form, arm pump is fatigue of all the muscles in the hands and the forearms. And it's happening because as you grab the bars and grip the bars, you're creating tension through all those muscles. And you tend to have a heavier grip as you're ripping downhill. Now, let's imagine you're doing a long sustained downhill. So now you have sustained tension through all of those muscles. Now let's just pretend that that downhill is really chunky and rocky and just gnarly. So now you are having to make all these little movements to help keep the bike in control and yourself in control, which then is using the muscles even more. So now you have sustained tension plus extra movement, extra energy costs going on there. And then you have a lot of vibrations coming up the bike, up through your hands, wrists, and forearms to add on top of that. And all these things are going to add up to fatigue, which will then add up to, a loss of strength and power. The other thing is because of holding that grip so hard, when you pull that hand off, you're probably going to have a little bit of short-term adaptive shortening of the muscles, meaning it's really hard to open that hand back up. And those are all phenomenons of, arm pump, and they can really make your mountain biking experience a little less fun. And so we're here to combat that today. So I'm going to teach you a few exercises to help develop some really good grip strength, hand strength, forearm strength, and good fatigue resistance. So let's get started on that. Before continuing on, if you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more mountain biking and fitness related content. Now, as we move on, we're going to do some basic introductions into anatomy. We're going to talk about exercises without weights, exercises with weight equipment, and then stretching it and everything. And if you want to just skip ahead to what you'd like, just use the chapters down below in the time bar. So anyway, let's go. So I think it's important to have a basic understanding of the anatomy involved with these exercises. And we're looking at the muscles of the hands and the forearms. There's a lot of them. And I mean a lot. When we're looking at the muscles in just the hand that do all these movements, we call those intrinsic hand muscles because they're within the hand. And then when we're looking at muscles in the forearms that also help with hand movements and finger movements, those are extrinsic hand muscles because they're external to the hand. Then there's other muscles in the forearms that are going to help with wrist movements and elbow movements. When we're looking at the palmar surface of the hand and down the forearm and muscles that come and attach to the inside of the elbow, those are muscles that are going to help with wrist flexion and finger flexion. When we're looking at the dorsal surface of the hand in the back, so the back of the hand and the back of the forearm, those muscles come in and attach to the outside of the elbow, and those help with wrist extension and finger extension. So now we have a very basic understanding of the anatomy. Let's get on to the exercises. So first we're going to talk about some exercises that don't require any weight equipment. You can do these using some simple things you can find at home, or don't even need anything. This first one, you only need your hand, which is awesome. So you're going to start out by having your hand open, and then make a fist, and then you're going to open it, and then you're going to close it with your fingers wrapped around your thumb, and you're going to alternate. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to pick up the pace so you can do it really quick. This is going to challenge your coordination along with your endurance. And I'd say go for this for about 30 seconds per side. And you want to do 2 to 3 sets of this. Let's go for 3 sets of 30 seconds of these alternating motions per side. But you'll see after a bit that your forearms will start to burn. And this requires absolutely nothing at all. The next thing is just going to use a rubber band. So you're going to just put the rubber band around your fingers like so, and just open. And we're going to do the same thing here, 30 seconds worth of these finger extensions. And because they're extensions, work on the back side of that forearm. 3 sets of these, 30 seconds worth of extensions. If this is too easy, take another rubber band, wrap it around, boom, increased resistance. And you'll see after a bit that these become very, very difficult. Next, we're going to use a frying pan. If you have a cast iron one, that's the best bet. And don't judge mine, it's got a lot of burnt marks. I'm a terrible cook. So you're going to take it, you're going to hold it out front of you, grip it, and you're just going to rotate. This is going to work a few different other muscles of the forearm that we haven't really hit yet. What we're going to do is about 2 to 3 sets of this of 12 to 15 reps per side. And once you're good with that, we're going to do some levers. And normally this would be down at your side, but just to keep it in frame, I have it up here. We're going to do some front levers. And then some back levers. And again, 2 to 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps per side. This also works really well with like a mallet, heavy hammer, sledgehammer, anything like that. Last thing, I need to grab something. Newspaper crumpling. So you can take a newspaper or something like this, because I don't have a newspaper, or your homework if you hate school. Turn in your homework, don't do that. Take it, one hand, and you're just going to crumple it up. And you're going to see this is pretty darn difficult to do. You want to do about 2 or 3 pages per hand. If you do all of those things throughout the day, killer workout. Do that once or twice a week, and your forearms are going to be feeling so strong, and they're going to be really resistant to that fatigue. But let's say you do have weights, you want to use weights. Let's check that out. Wrong way, this way. Okay, so you do have some equipment available to use. I'm going to show you a really simple and effective routine. Now this routine, I love it. It is a grip and forearm killer, and it only uses 4 exercises. Those 4 exercises are going to be 3 different variations of bicep curls and some pull-up bar hangs. And with those bicep curl variations, you can use a barbell like I'm going to use, dumbbells, easy curl bar, resistance bands, whatever you have available. Now let's get started. So the first one we're going to do is going to be a standard grip bicep curl. And this form goes for every single curl variation. So you're going to make sure that you have feet flat and about shoulder width apart. You're going to want to pick up the bar at a nice comfortable width and grip. And again, standard, so palms facing out. You're going to pull your shoulder blades back, squeeze your butt, and then brace through your trunk. And just pull up and keep that wrist nice and straight. And we're aiming for 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps with about 60 seconds of rest between sets if you're trying to add lean muscle mass. Now, if you're going for endurance, I would do 2 to 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps with 30 seconds of rest between sets. You want to choose a weight that is going to challenge you on those last couple reps, and you don't want to have too much weight that you get poor technique. So make sure that the weight you choose allows you to have proper form but challenges you. What you want to avoid doing is you don't want to be arching your back or pushing up through your hips to get the weight up. You don't want to have to be doing some weird like curling. You don't have to be shifting your weight side to side. And then you want to keep those elbows tucked into your side, so you don't want to flare them out as you come up. And again, that goes for all of the bicep curl variations. So again, we just did standard bicep curls. Then we're going to just take it, same exact thing. We're going to flip the grip over so the back of the hand is facing out. And same thing, nice straight wrist. And same form. And all the other same rep schemas are going to be the same for this. So that is your reverse grip. Now the reason that it's important to make sure that that wrist is nice and straight is that that's what makes this workout so effective on your forearm. When you have a nice straight wrist like that, you have to use the muscles of the forearm to keep the weight and gravity from causing it to just bend downwards. Or flip the other way, same deal. When we do these hammer curls, to keep it from just flopping. So it puts a lot of force, it forces those muscles to produce force and tension, thus giving them a heck of a workout. So I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to grab some dumbbells for these ones. And these are hammer curls. So again, same exact technique, but this time palms are going to face in. And as you come up, palms stay facing each other. And keep that wrist nice and straight all the way through. And everything else is exactly the same. The reason we like this is when you go to that neutral grip or facing the thumbs outwards, you're allowing a big muscle up here called the brachioradialis to become more of an active participant in the movement. And by doing that, you're going to give yourselves more well-rounded forearms and a stronger forearm. So the last thing then is going to be bar hangs. But before that, let me show you how you can do all this with resistance band. I like to take a good resistance band and tie a loop in it on each side so I can put my hands in it. Hold it up, put your foot in it, and come down. You can put 2 feet in if you need more resistance, or move your foot placement out further, and then just same thing. Standard. Flip the grip, reverse, and then thumbs out for hammer. Resistance bands are cool for supplementing in because it's a progressive resistance. The further up you get, the heavier the resistance becomes. So it's just a nice way to vary your training. Anyway, let's get to the pull-up bar hangs. So the last part of this routine is a bar hang. It's a pretty simple deal. I'm just gonna go up and grip a little outside of shoulder width apart, shoulder width and a half, whatever's comfortable, and lift your feet up and hang. Now with this, I don't really like a passive hang. While it still works, I like to do a more active hang. What that means is when I'm hanging, I'm going to try and tuck my shoulder blades into their back pocket. And that is going to allow my lats and my traps and other muscles of the shoulders and the back to activate and just give me a little bit more of a workout, a total body workout. So, come up, and now we're into a passive hang, and then we tuck, and now we're into an active hang. What we're going for here is about 20 to 30 seconds. We'll do 3 sets of 20 to 30 second holds, and because this is so taxing, we'll do 60 to 90 seconds of rest between sets. I don't know how long I've gone, but I'm already feeling it because it is that good of a workout. Now I have a pretty thick pull-up bar, and different bar widths will kind of hit everything a little bit differently, but just go with what you got. So again, 20 to 30 seconds, more if you can do it. 3 sets, 60 to 90 seconds of rest between those sets. Ooh, feel that big time. If you want to add another dimension of challenge, if you really want to work that grip, a towel. Take a towel, twist it up, throw it up and over. And you're going to hang from this. And I don't even have the strength for this by any means. I'll lose a little weight first, tell you what. Get a little stronger, but same deal happens here. But because the towel doesn't give you that solid surface, it's much more challenging on the grip. And so here we go. Again, give this a shot if you want. It is a challenge. If you get really good at this, you're really strong. So, oh jeez. I failed out really quickly there. Again, great challenge. So that is a really killer routine with all those exercises in there. And just to summarize them, standard bicep curls, reverse grip bicep curls, hammer curls, pull-up bar hangs. Okay, so now you've performed that whole routine and your forearms are feeling tight and tired. Now's a really good time to stretch them out. I'm just gonna show you 2 really quick, simple stretches. So for this, you can use the floor. I'm gonna use this bench. You're gonna get on your hands and knees, and you're gonna put your palms down, but your fingers pointed towards you, and then you're just gonna sit back. And you're gonna go until you feel pretty good stretch. You don't wanna go until you feel pain, just a good stretch. Hold that for 30 seconds. Once that 30 seconds is up, you can come up, shake it out, do some movement here, and come back, sit again, go a little bit deeper, another 30-second stretch. And after that 30 seconds, again, shake it out. Now you're gonna put the back of your hands on down, again, fingers pointed towards you, and sit back. 30 seconds here, come up, shake it out, another 30 seconds, a little bit deeper stretch. And again, not to the point of pain, but just so you have a good stretch. That'll maintain the mobility, make them feel a little bit better, and just keep some consistent tightness from coming up. So while I showed you a lot of really good exercises to improve grip and forearm strength, there's still a plethora of them out there. Are there any different exercises you use to help with your arm pump? Or are there any different exercises and areas you'd like me to cover in future strength and conditioning videos? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If I had a catchphrase, I'd insert it here, but I don't, so I won't. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my buddy Eric's from the channel Riding Dirty and use his. Start small, go huge. Good night. Yeah, take that, Eric, you big idiot. You think you have such cool videos? Well, mine are freaking cool too. God.